All right, what up, YouTube? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Boxing Vibes TV.
What's up? What's
I'm,
up?
I'm Q. We just me and JD. JD today. We gave JD the day off, and happy Juneteenth to everybody, man. How y'all feeling? Hope y'all doing well, man. Hope y'all spending time with y'all family and loved ones. But today we got a special gift for y'all, man. We want to speak on our first heavyweight champ, man, Jack Johnson from Galveston, Texas, which made this special because Galveston, Texas. He was born in Galveston, Texas in 1878. Juneteenth became a holiday, and the slaves became free. The last slaves became free in 1865. And this amazing man, he became the first black heavyweight champ in 1908. You know what I'm saying? And he held on to that title for about 7 years to 1915. But there was a lot of madness and everything went on with his career. Yeah, I want you to jump in and give your spiel on Jack Johnson, man.
Yeah, man. I think again, happy Juneteenth, to everyone, and we felt it was only right to give a tribute, to the Galveston giant known as Jack Johnson. As Q already stated, many people don't know, but he was the first ever black heavyweight champion, defeating Tommy Burns in 1908. And it's extremely special because we can only, begin to imagine, the life that this man lived and the type of difficulties he had to overcome to become, the heavyweight champ of the world as a black man in America in 1908. Man. Not to mention, even once he became the champ, so many white people were upset at the fact that he became champ. They begged for James Jeffries to come out of retirement to try to defeat Jack Johnson in the fight on July 4th, 1910, that became known as the fight of the century. Now after Jack Johnson beat Jeffries, whites were so outraged that they rioted in cities across the U.S., killing several African Americans in the process. So you can imagine, what times were like and how difficult it had to be in order to be, that level of an athlete in those days. So I felt it was only right. Q felt it only right, Jay as well, that we salute one of the pioneers in the boxing game, one of the pioneers in the black community that we don't often speak about enough. But Jack Johnson, we tip our hat to you and your legacy that you've left, for all of us here in the boxing world. And we felt it was only right that we would salute him on this day that we all celebrate Juneteenth, because he's definitely a trailblazer that deserves, much more love, in the black community, especially, when we think about the heavyweight division. He really is the one who paved the way, for a lot of our great heavyweights that have come through the ranks, from Evander Holyfield to Lennox Lewis to Mike Tyson, and the list goes on with the number of prominent black heavyweights that we've seen, all the way to today's age of Wilder, Anthony Joshua, David Haye. Because if you're black, you're black. It don't matter whether you're in the UK, whether you're in America, whether you're in Australia, no matter what, you're black, you're black. And he really was a pioneer, as a black man who really,
fearless,
led the way, fearless man. But I tip my cap to him, man, and he definitely is a dude, deserving of our admiration, for what he did as an athlete in America.
And during that damn time, brother,
right.
It was, man, they threatened to hang him. They threatened to hang him and everything, man, if he won the fight. The fight you were talking about, several fights, they had their hype, the great white hype to come. They wanted to beat him. And,
right.
He told them, man, listen, y'all might do what y'all got to do. One for the knock him out. So do what you got to do. But I'm going to do what I got to do. And, he handled his business, man. I mean, he ain't let nothing scare him, man. Straight up.
Right, man. And it's, and even in that time, man, he got to such a peak that they pretty much, racism ruined his career. A lot of people don't know about the Mann Act that was a part of society back in the early 1900s. But essentially, it was a act that people were charged with transporting women across state lines for immoral purposes. Now, of course, that was false accusations, but that is what they essentially used to run Jack Johnson's career, down the toilet, and to pretty much squash out, his light and his shine as being the heavyweight champ. And it's crazy, like you said, he was fearless. Against all odds, he became champ. Unfortunately, racism, squashed his reign as champ. But overall, it's great to see, a black man get to that level at that time in America.
And real quick, just a quick interjection on that, what you said, whatever. It's a law called white slave. You heard about that law, white slave law? They say it's still prominent. It's still active today. And it's the same thing you just said, where I had to look this up. I heard it on an interview on Sway in the Morning. It's a rapper, Lucci, or someone was talking about this. He was talking about he's a pimp.
Right.
He said back in the day, he had to get up out of Texas because they had this law called white slave law, to where if you have a white female or or whatever, and you trafficking her, he was facing like 45 years. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, when you got to say white slave law, definitely, a black person, you trapping a black person, doing the same thing.
Right.
You probably, you might get probation out. So I don't know all the details, but that's something to look up. I remember I had to Google that, and I didn't even know Jack Johnson was tied. His name was tied up in there somewhere. I don't remember the exact, but I do remember, because I didn't believe such a law would exist, and I had to go look it up. And I'm like, man, that's crazy right now. And it's still, I don't think the law has been abolished. It haven't been erased. So it's just crazy, and that's why we fight. That's why we fight. And like you said, you touched on the riots after he won and won. Come on, man.
Right. You become heavyweight champ, and and everybody's upset and rioting.
Dig in your history books, man, if you dare. Right. And then talk about riot. Dig in your history books, man. We talk about Tulsa, Black Wall Street. We talking about this to after hockey games. Come on, man.
Right.
What are we? Look at what we fighting for. You know what I'm saying? And then compare what we fighting for. You know what I'm saying? That's equality, bro.
Exactly.
We ain't gonna get too deep into that, man. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day, man. And despite of everything that's going, that ain't on the up and up, man. We still fight. And I think Jack Johnson would be honored, man. You know what I'm saying? If you look down and see his people still fighting a good fight right now.
Right.
It ain't gonna stop. It ain't gonna stop.
Yeah, it ain't gonna stop, man. We're gonna continue to keep pushing his legacy forward. As a community, we're gonna continue to keep fighting for equality and justice. And again, man, this legacy of Jack Johnson is for all Americans. It's for everybody, man. Everybody in the boxing world, everybody in America, period, man. Everybody deserves equality. Everybody deserves justice. And I invite everybody to celebrate Juneteenth, because Juneteenth is the end of hatred, at least as we saw it as slavery. Now, we still know racism exists and we still fighting against it, but it's a celebration of ending the literal hatred of having somebody as a slave. Literally. Exactly, man. Having a human being as livestock.
And man, that ain't gonna, is that a form of welfare? Say people don't want to work for theirs, but I'm saying you literally got a physical body.
Right.
What are we talking about, man? It's so crazy, the conversations you get sucked into, man. And you have to hold back, because it's wild out here, man. But either way it go, man, it's spreading love out here. We spreading love, equality. If that word bothers you, you need to look in the mirror and figure out what that's about. Because you know what I'm saying? People, you shouldn't feel so touched by a word like equality, like diversity. Those words shouldn't hurt you. They shouldn't hurt you. You know what I'm saying? If they hurt you, the deck probably stacked in your favor. So you don't want anybody else getting the leverage. You know what I'm saying? Which means you'll have to work harder for yours. But that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, most definitely, man. It's a celebratory day, man. Juneteenth. I'm happy to see, so many people in America taking to this day. It's a beautiful time to see everybody celebrate something like the end of slavery, man. Like it should have been something that we should have been highlighting at a high level for a long time, but it's never too late, you know, to get to that point where we really pay attention to it and really celebrate it.
And shout out to the rainbow of people that's out there fighting and that's out there pushing this issue, man, because it's definitely not us, man. We salute y'all big time, man.
Right. The Rainbow Coalition. The Rainbow Coalition, man.
You know what I mean? That's what it's about, man. And it's not black versus white. It's not. It's everybody. Should be everybody versus racism, which I've said before.
Exactly.
And all equality and justice. And just because it's not you, it's not affecting you right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It works its way around. Life is about balance, and everything balances itself out, man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's going to get to you at some point. So, you know what I'm saying? Have some humanity for when it's not you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When it's not you, when it's not directly affecting you. You know. Right. So anyways.
But man, but that's definitely, man. That's what it is, man. We hope everybody stay safe out there. You know, you know, love your family. You know, love everybody. Like my man Q just said, man. It's everybody versus racism. That's what it is. Not a black-white thing, but it should be everybody versus racism, man. But
love always win, man. Love won't win over hate. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you got to pick a side, and you know, because it's getting very apparent. You know, it's getting very apparent with the entire. And either way it go, we gonna close this one out, man. Y'all smash the like button, man, and you know, hit the subscribe button and rock with us. Let us know what y'all like or don't like about how we rocking, man. And you know, we gonna be here, man. So we know.
Most definitely, man. Happy Juneteenth, everybody, man. Happy Juneteenth.
Most definitely, man. 1,000. Peace.
Jack Johnson was a big inspiration because of what he did out of the ring. He was so bold. Jack Johnson was a black man back when white people lynched Negroes on weekends, every weekend. Back in 1909, they would send him letters saying, you fighting a white man, and nigger, if you knock him out, we'll kill you. He said, just kill my black buckers, I'm gonna knock this white man cold. And he would knock the white man out, and the Ku Klux Klan would be burning them. They killed Negroes all over the country. When Jack Johnson wanted to fight, they had riots all over South America. It was so serious, and Jack Johnson, he's bad. He had to be a bad, bad black man. Wasn't no black Muslims to defend him. Wasn't no NAACP in 1909. Wasn't no Rap Brown. Wasn't no MOVE. All these black groups. Wasn't no Angela Davis, no Hill Newton, no Malcolm X. He was by himself. Jack Johnson. It was so long ago, people still had log cabins in this country, and they rode horses and wagons and stagecoaches to fight. He was one black man in the midst of all the rednecks would kill lynch Negroes every day. He would dress up in pretty suits. Negroes aren't allowed to dress up in days. He put on pretty white neckties and pretty white, and had white women. You know that nigga was bold. He married white women. You would get lynched for looking at a white woman in them days. That man married white women and walked around, took pictures with his white women, married two of them, and they run him out of the country because of white woman. He left the whole country and fought out of Cuba. He was bad. Back in 1909, man. Man, you know, Jack Johnson was the greatest. He had to be the greatest of all. Wasn't no Black Panthers, wasn't no bodyguards. White people lynching niggas, wasn't no television, wasn't no telephone. And that Negro was doing all this stuff in them days. He was bad when you think about it. I know I'm bad, but he was crazy.